It is a rainy 4th of July 2022 here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I decided that I was going to do a little work on my YouTube channel. So I got my my tricorn hat on and sipping a little bit of Madeira, and figured we would knock out the Rust Bucket series here with a two-parter today. So we're going to knock that out. But before we do that, just wanted to kind of just, tell everyone to remember, at the 4th of July, what this is all about. Be so grateful we live in such a great country. That we can do this. We can have scale modeling channels and stuff like that, and we'll end up in an internment camp or something for it. This is just a great country. Just don't forget what the 4th of July is about. So without further ado, let's get to making some models. Okay, let's get to it. And here I'm just painting with some XF69, really thinned out XF69 on my grill, which I painted with X11. And it was so thinned out, which is how I wanted it. I ended up having to put a couple layers on, and it turned out pretty good, I think. And you'll see me doing this periodically throughout the video. Just when I was hairspray chipping, it kind of went down to the white primer a little bit underneath in a few spots, so especially on like corners and edges. So I'm just kind of putting a little bit of like orange brown and rust brown on there to kind of dial it in and get rid of that white. And the paint I'm using here to do all this is Vallejo Panzer Aces Light Rust. And that's kind of working out pretty good, especially with that orange body on the truck. It kind of gave it a good contrast. So that worked out pretty good, doing like the rust hole in the fender and stuff, and the edges that were white. And here I'm just painting the windshield wipers on the truck with some XF69 NATO black. It kind of stinks because they were molded on the cab of the truck in the kit. Now, I didn't have to glue them on or anything, so I kind of had to freehand it when I painted these, which, I'm not the very best at freehanding, so I just kind of took my time on it. And here you can't really see it because my big Finlander fingers are kind of blocking it, but I'm using my blade to score the windshield and simulate cracks across the windshield and kind of a sputtering effect where a rock chip or something may hit the windshield. Like I always say, when you're dealing with already painted parts or windshields, test that fit before you start slapping glue on things, because it's a lot harder to fix and clean up when it's already covered in glue. And I don't know how everyone else feels about this, but when I'm working on things like this where I already have painted parts and stuff like that, or I'm putting a big like a windshield or something on, or a cab body or something, I like to use Loctite super glue rather than using like normal modeling glue like Tamiya or anything like that. I just feel like with the super glue, it gives it a quick adhesive and it gets it into place really quick, where the modeling glue, you can mess up your paint and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And here I'm just using my little kind of stippling brush for stippling on a little bit of Vallejo German black brown on the bottom of the cab, the wheel wells and stuff like that. And then I'm just kind of using the Vallejo light rust to kind of make little rust specks all over it by hand. And I'm just doing the same thing here with the box and the frame, just the German black brown Vallejo and doing the little rust specks with light rust Vallejo. And for seam lines and flashing, I use this Citadel tool, and man, it just works so great. It's way better than using like your knife or anything like that, because you know, one slip of the hand and you can really tear up what you're working on with your knife. And I mean, it wasn't really cheap. I mean, it was a little more than I wanted to pay for a tool, but man, that's a great tool to get, and I got it right off Amazon. So I mean, if anybody you know, has never used that or whatnot, I'd highly recommend it. And growing up in the UP, I mean, we see rusty plows everywhere. I mean, it's July 5th, and I just saw a guy parked on my street with a rusty plow on his truck today. So, I mean, I've seen them around a lot, so I was trying my best to kind of imitate that look. And I had used Tamiya putty to stipple rust spots on there, you know, and sanded down the fine tips and stuff like that, and everything to kind of make it work. Very similar to what I did on the fenders and whatnot of the truck itself. Here I'm just using a little bit of German black brown Vallejo to kind of line the inside of the wheel a little bit, and then taking a Vallejo oiled earth wash and just kind of dirtying it up a little bit, and then I'm just kind of taking that Vallejo rust color and you know, just putting the rust flakes on it, just like I had with the frame and the bottom of the cab and the box and whatnot. And here I'm just using that Vallejo oiled earth to kind of dirty up the plow mount and the bumper and whatnot. And, you know, I gotta say, I love that Vallejo oiled earth. You know, I love it almost as much as I love my NATO black Tamiya paint. You know, I mean, it just really gives it a really good, dirty, dingy look, you know, especially like right here with the cylinder for the plow. You know, those are always piss and grease and whatnot, and they're just looking dirty and dingy all the time. So just give it a really good look. And here I'm just using a little bit of my Vallejo light rust to kind of make some rust streaks on the bolts holding the bumper on the front of the truck. And here I'm just tossing a little bit of Vallejo oiled earth onto the wheels to dirty them up. This part I'm particularly proud of. I mean, a little scratch building here. I mean, if anyone's ever seen a plow like this, you know you gotta have a chain going to the plow, which goes to a little arm on the cylinder, which lifts the plow up and down. And this kit did not have that, so I went to my niece, who's 9, and she had a bunch of old costume jewelry that she wasn't using anymore, and she gave me a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm probably going to be using on a lot of projects ahead. But I found a bracelet in the pile that she gave me that was just perfect. It had a little loop on it and everything. Could hook right onto the arm on the cylinder, and I put that on there, and I painted it with some of that German brown Vallejo paint, and it just turned out really, really good. For what I needed putting this plow on. And just like the hydraulic cylinder on the truck, I did put some of the oiled earth wash on the plow too, just to kind of dingy it up a little bit. And here I'm just putting on another coat of that Vallejo oiled earth, just another little bit, just to kind of dial it in. Thanks a lot for sticking with me to the end here.
like I said during the tank diorama, I recorded these videos a long time ago, and I'm just kind of adding in my intro and my exit. So since we're doing the terrible twofer today for the 4th of July, we're going to go right into the next one. So stick around, and that will be coming up pretty quick here. So thanks for sticking around again, and make sure to like and subscribe. So thanks. See ya.